cannot sit far enough away when you invite someone to the party. And it doesn't matter which variation. Lay away, let's say I go a reverse, lay down, let's go half guard, underhook, I do a reverse drop step, he starts turning towards me, freeze! I'm going to guillotine him in a second. But before I do, as Chet gets excited right now to get up, watch as he starts going to his knees, what's my hips are going to do? I'm going to sit even further away, so that when I wrap his neck, now I'm so sideways. What am I focusing on? Not letting my hips be crossoverable. He cannot get past my hips no matter what, whether it's invitation or whether it's a forced guillotine from kneeling. Boom, watch my hips. You know what I'm saying? This is how exaggerated you want to be. Because now there's no way you can get over here. It's like, I'm very safe from that chance, from that opportunity. You see? Versus, now besides Chet being closer to freedom, direct hip alignment, what else is the problem with direct hip alignment? What do you guys think? There's no crush potential because my pelvis, my hips, and my stomach are occupying the space beneath Chet that I would like to crank his neck into. But there's no void, there's no crank. You've got to get your hips out so there's a void so that under his head, there's nothing, no person here. So his neck can do this. If your hips are underneath, right, if I pull guard, which is why the arm and guillotine or any guillotine is better from this lateral guard, shin and body bite, than it is from closed guard. Some of you are wondering, why don't we just close guard and call this from closed guard? One reason and one reason alone. My crankability is greatly reduced by the fact that my hips are fixed now to Chet. Now, don't get it twisted. There are some people who are so strong and so athletic that even with only 50%, meaning just the arms, they crank here and they get a tap. Fabrizio Verdun versus Cain Velasquez. Cain shot at a big double leg. Fabrizio said, let me have it. Boom! He just fell down, closed the guard, but Fabrizio can do this. You guys need all the help you can get to get the same leverage that he has just in his arms. You understand? You guys are not UFC heavyweight jump over. So this, that's why you see, like, and I'm sure many of you coming into the seminar or even just watching MMA or jiu-jitsu are like, man, why is it that people who wrap guillotines are so adamant about having this side guard where the legs are off to the side, scissoring from the side, and not a closed guard? If the guard looks so open, doesn't it? Doesn't this guard, scissor sandwich, look so open? Well, yeah, it's open in all the wrong directions. It's open to the direction that if you go, you're going to hurt yourself. And it's very closed. Look, bite the body and hook on the pelvis. It's blocking and holding you from going the direction you want to go, which is the safe direction. So this guard is actually way more dangerous than a closed guard when it comes to guillotines. If I could choose, I would much rather have someone guillotine me in closed guard because their hips are right under me, which means no one's going to break my neck. There will be no void to crank my neck into, and I'm just going to resist, fight their hands, and then hopefully try to slip out of it. But if they land in the side guard, they can create the void on their terms, which means my neck is going to get cranked, which means either I'm going to get choked, tapped, or I'm going to roll, which is our next discussion. When someone's life is in danger from that side scissor sandwich type guard, that side guard, and the guillotine is real, but they don't want to tap. They typically do one of a couple things, different behaviors. Okay? Doesn't matter how I get here. How did I arrive here? Could have been half guard and I invited him to the party, or it could have been kneeling, butterfly guard, bottom of the guard, where I sat up and I grabbed the rope and I tied the rope and I snatched the neck. And then I lay down and I catch this situation. Let's say I'm here and for whatever reason it's not working. He's not tapping, he's a strong neck, his face, maybe his forehead is glued to the mat, whatever, or I catch it, right? There's two types. There's people who stabilize and don't go anywhere and stay right here, but more commonly when I catch it, they want to escape. So a lot of times what they'll do is they'll do a back flop in the direction of the opening in the sandwich. So you're going to open your back and lay your back over there, like that. Boom, you roll. Basically it's front roll, side flop roll, where they want to invert and get up, okay? Because their thought is they want to go with the pressure and they're good to go. Let's go back. Now, because of my sandwich, do that again, faster, go. Got him. These are called tag-along guillotines. Anytime you have a good sandwich and someone does a crazy acrobatic roll in any direction, if you have a good sandwich, it will always pull you to the mount because they're putting their back on the ground, which means you got to just tag along. In the past, they used to get the guillotine, and if they started rolling, I would try to resist the roll. And then I said, no, tag, ride the hips all the way to the mount, put hooks in, and then embrace the mount right there and get the exact same neck crank and trachea crush. So we're going to wrap the neck. You can do kneeling variation, or you can do half guard if you want more review. Catch it, invite it to the party, and get here. Here's the problem for you guys. There's always a little problem. The problem is this. the further out your hips are, the better the choke is from right here. The choke is better, but the sandwich is looser. Get it? So if he flops right now, I might have a loose sandwich and I don't go with him. Go back. The closer the sandwich is, like look how my hips are deep and I'm pretty nice bite right now. The closer the sandwich is, the choke is not as good because of that void concept that I can't make the void as well. But the sandwich is so tight when he rolls, look, I go so easy. And I take this foot, slap, hook, insert, and I'm driving right. So what's better, close sandwich or far sandwich? Always depends, you guys. Everything is dependent, right? So if you have the default to the far sandwich, or if you default to the far sandwich and he flops, you're going to miss the follow-along opportunity. If you default to the close sandwich and he doesn't flop, then you're not going to have as good of a choke initially, and then you kind of have to peel back towards that. Similar to the triangle seminar, where it was like a matter of do you default to the arm stack or the head control. It's easier to default to a slightly closer sandwich in anticipation of their flop. And if they don't flop, you can then scoot your hips out and adjust. Then if you default too far and they flop, and you can't follow along, and you lost a chance, right? So my answer is no matter what guillotine I'm here, I'll typically come in, and I'm sideways, but this heel is pretty assertive. Because usually if they're going to roll the first 3 seconds max. And if after 3 seconds, he's trying, I'm squeezing a little, he's not, then I'll start to kick my hip out, you guys understand? And get that pressure. But if I land here and he rolls right away, I bite, look, and I take my leg out and I go, and I squeeze with your hip pressure, your head comes off the ground. And he's tapping before that. You can begin the whole arch, you cut the trachea, and you fold his head back with your arm. Chest turn, let's do some half guard turn. We'll go half guard, get up, and then we'll do sandwich, side sandwich, we'll do tight sandwich, I'm gonna roll. So half guard, we'll get a little whisker here, nice wrap, boom, another hand, boom, I leave my pelvis. When you fold this, put your foot out wider. Your knee will fold, but keep your hips away. Yes, look how far it is. So now, use a little butterfly, hold me up, easy switch of the butterfly hooks, get a good sandwich now, free. Safety tip, if I flop and check is not tight enough, it's going to hurt my neck when I go by myself. So for my own safety, I expect Chet's sandwich to be primarily his own doing. But for my own neck safety, I grab his hips right here so that when I flop, I make sure that he goes with me. Push your hooks in, and squeeze. You understand? I can't afford to go and Chet not be able to have the sandwich when I crank my neck on the way out. Now, if he's really good at it, if you flop, they're lighter, right? So if the person doing the guillotine is very small, it's easy for them to tag along because they're so light. But if it's a much heavier person on your neck and you're trying to do a flop, and they're trying to tag along but they're much bigger, you're going to go, they're going to stay, and your neck's going to be cranked in that process. So all I'm saying is hug their belt maker or their hip, and as you throw your body kind of just to help them a little bit pull up, and they're going to go to the mount. Now, when that big person wraps the neck of an even bigger person, then there should be no problem because they're small relatively, and therefore they can tag along as a weightless backpack, so to speak, and just kind of fall up to the mount. This is an Asian, guys. Now, we're rolling in the most orthodox, open, obvious direction. But I use this move even when guys roll like straight over the top. Like just do a cartwheel and go straight over, straight over. Look, I'll go any direction. You understand? It doesn't have to be a side flop. It can be over. I'm going to bite and I'm going to go. I don't want you guys to do over the top right now. Because sometimes they roll straight over your neck and it's a little bit sketchy on the roll and a little uncomfortable. And I don't know where you're going to land because there's so many people. But the side flop right here, you're getting choked, you're here, just go this. Boom, try to put your back in the ground. They're going to go rock. And then put both hooks in and just finish. Let's go. Tag along.